All right, so Poland, Portugal, UEFA Nations League. You think you know this matchup?
We're about to take you deeper. This isn't just about who wins.
This is about WHY.
We've got some seriously insightful analysis to unpack here.
Tactical breakdowns, the psychological game.
Even how the weather in Poland could throw a wrench in the works.
Get ready for a whole new level of understanding.
What I find fascinating, the source goes beyond just the obvious.
Right, because on the surface, Lewandowski for Poland, Ronaldo for Portugal.
Star power.
Yeah.
Huge EE, but
Everyone knows those names. Everyone expects goals.
this source digs into leadership. That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so beyond the stats, what are we talking about?
It's about the impact these guys have, not just on the scoreboard.
But on their teams.
Exactly. Ronaldo, the source, specifically mentions his ability to inspire.
Oh, I remember that 2016 Euros final, injured early on.
But there he was, rallying the team from the sidelines. Pure willpower.
And Portugal wins, like something out of a movie.
It's that contagious confidence. And the source really emphasizes this, especially in high-pressure moments.
And that's the question, isn't it? How will Poland handle that pressure?
The source points to that quarter-final loss to the Netherlands last year. They seemed to crumble late in the game.
Couldn't hold it together when it mattered most.
And you can't discount experience. Fernando Santos, Portugal's manager, he's been there, done that.
Since 2014, right?
Yeah.
World Cup qualifiers, Euros campaigns.
That experience seeps into the team's mentality. It's a factor.
So we've got experience in Portugal's corner, maybe a question mark over Poland when things get tough. But hold on, we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, this is where it gets even more interesting.
Because we haven't even touched on how these two teams actually play the game.
And trust me, it's like night and day. That's next.
We left off talking about Portugal's style. Fluid, attacking play. Sounds impressive, but what's that actually mean on the field?
So the source gets into the nitty-gritty here. Numbers time. Portugal averages almost 600 passes a game. Completion rate over 85%.
Okay, so they like to hold on to the ball, that's clear.
But it's not just holding on, it's what they do with it. Constant movement, probing, looking for that tiny gap.
So it's purposeful possession, not just keeping it away from the opponent.
Exactly. The source even uses this analogy like a boa constrictor.
Whoa, okay, a boa constrictor.
Yeah, they squeeze, they wait for that perfect moment to strike. Very deliberate.
That's a pretty intense image for a football team.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Portugal. What about Poland? Their approach is completely different, right?
Night and day. This is where a guy like Lewandowski, he becomes essential. The source calls out his off-the-ball movement, his intelligence.
So not just waiting around for a pass, he's making things happen.
Poland will actually cede possession, draw the other team out, then bam!
The counterattack, lightning fast.
Lewandowski's in space, gets that pinpoint pass, and it's a goal-scoring chance out of thin air.
Two totally different philosophies clashing. This is fascinating. But how will Poland's home advantage play into all of this?
The source brings up a great point about Stadion Narodowy. The atmosphere there, it's electric.
Those Polish fans are going to be loud.
Even for experienced players, that noise can get in your head, disrupt your game plan. Makes it a lot harder for Portugal to impose their usual rhythm.
And then there's the weather, right? The source mentioned rain as a real possibility.
Yeah, wet pitch, the ball moves faster, more unpredictably.
Throws a wrench into those intricate passing sequences Portugal loves.
Exactly. It could create more of those chaotic moments, which actually plays right into Poland's hands.
So we've got these two contrasting styles. The mental game, even the weather might play a part. It's amazing how much depth there is in this analysis.
And we haven't even touched on one of the most interesting points the source makes.
Yeah, this is what really jumped out at me too, set pieces.
Most people, they completely overlook this part of the game.
Exactly. It's like a sideshow, a little break in the action.
But the source argues that in a match like this, with so much on the line,
Set pieces could be decisive,
Right.
especially if it's close.
it's about exploiting those little cracks in an otherwise solid defense.
And when you think about it, the stats back this up, right?
Absolutely. The source cites over 40% of goals in the last two UEFA Nations League tournaments.
40%. That's massive.
From set pieces, it's a huge E factor.
And it makes sense. You've got those meticulously planned routines, the height advantage.
And that element of surprise, it throws a wrench in everything.
The source even points out a potential weakness for Portugal here.
They've been known to concede headers from set pieces.
And who better to take advantage of that than Lewandowski? He's lethal in the air.
Exact. That's a matchup to watch, for sure.
I'm getting nervous just thinking about it, that free kick sailing into the box.
The tension, the roar of the crowd, one moment can change the whole game.
That's what's so captivating about this matchup.
You've got the tactical battle, the individual talent,
The mental pressure cooker.
and then on top of all that, this wild card, set pieces.
It could go either way.
Portugal, they have the historical advantage.
3 wins in a row against Poland.
But recent form for both teams, it's been up and down, unpredictable.
Who can handle the pressure on the day? Whose strategy will come out on top?
Will we see a flash of brilliance from one of those star players?
Or will a set piece be the deciding factor? That's the beauty of it.
It's all to play for, and we'll be watching every second.
Couldn't have said it better myself. A fantastic deep dive into this matchup. That's all the time we have for today.
Until next time.